detail with the differences between inflectional and derivation morphemes, and I gave you 10 differences. They are all very useful, and you ought to understand. Even if you don't understand any of the points, you can ask me at the end of the session. Now today we continue with morphology, and we ended yesterday with the difference between inflectional morphemes and derivational morphemes. Now, what are the inflectional morphemes of English? Slide number 2. Jamshed, slide number 2. हाँ, लगा दो. Slide number 2. ठीक है, आ गया. Thank you, Jamshed. So participants, look at this slide, and the title of this slide is Inflectional Morphology of English. Now this is very simple. Inflectional morphemes. Now what are the inflectional morphemes for nouns? You know, a noun can be pluralized by adding s. Boy, boys, girl, girls, table, tables, fan, fans. So s is an inflectional morpheme, or to be precise, s in English is a plural inflectional morpheme. Then with most of the nouns we add apostrophe s. For example, we can say Rakesh's, Rakesh apostrophe s, Rakesh's, John's, or we can say horse's foot. So this apostrophe s indicates possessive case. This is also an inflectional morpheme. So there are two inflectional morphemes for the nouns of English. Then for adjectives, there are two, ER and EST. We say warm, warmer, warmest. Okay. So to most of the adjectives, we can add ER to show more than. Warm, warmer. Warmer is more than warm. And then EST. EST carries the most, warmest. That is, if we compare 3 glasses of water, then we can say the second glass is warmer than the first glass of water, and the third glass of water is the warmest of all. So there are two inflectional morphemes for adjectives in English, ER and EST. And ER and EST are added to monosyllabic words. Now you are familiar with monosyllabic words and disyllabic words. So ER and EST are added to monosyllabic and disyllabic words. Now, if you want to convert a trisyllabic word or a 4-syllabic word into comparative degree, we have to add more and most, right? More beautiful, most beautiful. But more is not an inflectional morpheme. Most is not an inflectional morpheme. Inflectional morpheme, by definition, are bound morphemes. More and most are not bound morphemes. They are free morphemes, and therefore more and most are not inflectional morphemes, although more and most convey the same meaning as ER and EST, respectively. So more is a free morpheme and the corresponding inflectional morpheme is ER. Most is the free morpheme and the corresponding inflection morpheme is EST. So there are two inflectional morphemes for noun, two inflectional morphemes for adjectives. Now, for verbs, we say go and goes. He goes to the market every day. That is in the present tense singular third person. Now he or she. He or she is third person singular. And therefore the verb should also be in the third person singular. And to make the verb third person singular and in present tense, we add s. So this is one inflectional morpheme for verb. Another is ed. We add ed to a verb to make it a past tense. Right? The regular verbs are converted into past tense by adding ed. Right? Like heat, heated. She heated the water on the stove. Right? And then we have the past participle, which can be added to a verb. And the past participle morpheme is en. That is, she has written. She has spoken to me. She has written to me. All right. And then we add the present participle, ing. He is going to the market, going, walking, running. The boy is running fast. The girl is speaking fluently. Right? So speaking, running, walking, they all take ing and ing is the present participle. Right. So these are the four inflectional morphemes that can be added to a verb. S, ed, en, and ing. So to summarize the whole thing, there are two inflectional morphemes for nouns, s and apostrophe s, the plural morpheme, and the possessive form morpheme. Then for adjective, there are two inflectional morphemes, the comparative degree er and the superlative degree est. And for verb, there are four, the present tense singular third person s, as in goes, walks, writes, the past tense inflectional morpheme ed, as in walked, right, walked, etc. And then past participle en, written, and then present participle ing, working, speaking, etc. So two for nouns, two for adjectives, four, and four for verbs. So in total, there are 8 inflectional morphemes in English. In Hindi, and the number of inflectional morphemes vary from language to language. English has a very poor morphology. We say English is poor in its morphology. So there are, to summarize, there are only 8 inflectional morphemes in English, 2 for noun, 2 for adjective, and 4 for verbs. Right. Now, let's come to slide number 3. Jamshed, slide number 3. Yeah. Now, participants, we switch over now to coining. Coining means word formation. How do we form words from existing words, right? That is called coining. That is, there are so many words in English, and some of the words and morphemes are combined together to make a different word. Hmm. That is called coining a word. And the first process in coining a word is called back formation. All right, back formation. Now, back formation. Look at the title of this word, back formation. That is forming from the back. Right. The title tells you that you can form a word from the back. Now, what does it mean? Now, let's look at the slide, and I have given you three words on the right hand side: sing, dance, and write. All right? Sing, dance, and write. All these are verbs. And we can add ER. Here, ER is a derivational morpheme, not a comparative degree morpheme, ER. ER is an inflectional morpheme when it is added to an adjective. But ER is a derivational morpheme when it is added to a verb. Now, sing is a verb. When we add ER to sing, we get singer. And singer is a noun, one who sings. Dance, we can add ER to it and we get dancer. And here it means, ER means one who can dance. Write, and then we get writer if we add ER to write. And we get writer, which means one who can write. And so this is a very productive process. Take any verb, you can add ER to it, you convert it into a noun. And this becomes sing, singer, dance, dancer, write, writer, speak, speaker, look. Now, we don't add look, or we can say onlooker, etc. All right. Now, compare these three words, singer, dancer, and writer, with the words given on the left hand side: editor, burglar, and peddler. Editor, you understand. Burglar means a kind of thief. And peddler, a peddler is a person who travels from place to place selling something. Now, you have three words, as I said: editor, burglar, and peddler. Now, compare these words with singer, dancer, and writer. Now, singer has been formed from sing, and dancer has been formed from dance, and writer has been formed from write. But editor has not been formed from edit, or burglar has not been formed from burgle, or peddler has not been formed from peddle. Right? Editor is a single morpheme word. That is, OR is not a derivational form morpheme on edit. AR is not a derivational morpheme on burgle, or AR is not a derivational morpheme on peddle. But people wrongly think, because we have singer from sing, dancer from dancer from dance, and writer from write, people think that editor has also come from edit, and burglar has also been derived from burgle, and peddler has also been derived from peddle. Now, this is wrong. In editor. Now look at the pronunciation. Don't look at the spelling. Feel the pronunciation. Singer, editor. At the end, you have a. All right. Dancer, burglar. At the end of burgle, you have a. Writer, peddler. In both words, at the end, you have a. But in singer, dancer, and writer, is an inflectional morpheme. But in editor, burglar, and peddler, is not. I repeat, in editor, burglar, peddler, is not a derivational morpheme, but people think from the analogy of singer, dancer, and writer, looking at singer, dancer, and writer, people think that in editor, in burglar, and in peddler is also an inflectional morpheme. But this is not so. But because they wrongly think that is an inflectional morpheme on editor, therefore they can remove from editor and get edit. Because they think that in burglar is an inflection morpheme, they can remove it and get burgle. Similarly, they think that in peddler is an inflection morpheme, they can remove it and they can get pedal. What they are doing is that at the end occurs in all these three words, they think it is an inflectional morpheme, they remove it and they get edit, burglar, pedal. This is called back formation. That is, they are deleting, they are removing something that occurs at the end of a word in edit. This process is called back formation. That is, they wrongly think that and editor, burglar, and peddler is an inflectional morpheme, and because an inflectional morpheme can be removed, so they remove it and they get edit, burgle, and pedal. This process is called back formation. And you will get so many examples. Now, think of the word, I have not written it in the handout, but think of the word collect. 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 Now, collect is a verb, and you can add ion to it to get collection. You can write it in your notebook. Collect, you add ion to this verb, and you get collection. So, by adding ion to the verb collect, you convert it into a noun. But that is not important. What I am saying is that to a verb like collect, you can add ion to get collection. Take another word, act. You can add ion to act and get action. So ion is a process of adding to a verb. Now look at these words: television, donation, creation, and investigation. People think that because collection is derived from collect and action is derived from act, they wrongly think because there is ion in television, ION in donation and ION in creation and ION in investigation, they wrongly think that ION is an is a derivational suffix on this, and therefore the derivational suffix can be removed. I explain it once more. Like you have act and action. So if you remove the derivational suffix ion from action, you get act, and this is correct. But they think that ion on television is also a derivational suffix. But this is not so. ION is not a derivational suffix. This is a complete word in itself. It cannot be broken. Ion cannot be separated from television. But people think that ION is a derivational suffix, and therefore they can remove it and get televised. So they do it with television, donation, creation, donate. From creation, they remove ION and they get create. From investigation, they remove ION and they get investigate. Now, the removal of ION from these words, television, donation, etc., is wrong. But people do it on the basis of the fact that ION can be removed from action to get act. So they remove ION from television also, and they get televised. And where does ION occur in television? At the back. So they remove ION and they get televised, and this is called back formation. That is deleting wrongly deleting a derivational suffix from a word. And derivational suffix means it occurs at the end. So they wrongly think that ION is a derivation suffix and they can remove it from television to get televised. Now this process is used in compound words also. Now look at stage manager. A stage manager is a compound verb. Housekeeper is a compound verb. Globetrotter is a compound verb. From stage manager, they remove ER and get stage manage. From housekeeper, they remove ER and they get housekeep. From globetrotter, they remove ER and they get globetrot. This is also a process of back formation. How? Let me explain. As I have already told you, look at sing, dance, and write. Singer, dancer, writer. To a verb, you can add ER and get from sing, singer, from dance, dancer, and from write, writer. Now, they think that to it to get a stage manager. People wrongly think that housekeep is a word, they can add ER to housekeeper and they can get housekeep. Similarly, they think globetrot is a verb, they can add ER to get globetrotter. But this is not so. How do we get stage manager? Look at the diagram that I have given you for a stage manager. There are two diagrams, right? One and stage manager, and then below that also stage manager. Look at the first diagram of a stage manager and begin from the bottom. We have a word manage, which is a verb. We add ER to it and we get manager. This is called a tree diagram. So we start from the lowest point and go upward. So look, manage is a verb. We have added er to it, and we get manager. You can see it up the tree. And then manager and stage. Stage and manager, they are combined together to get stage manager. Right? This is the process. That is, ER is not added to stage manage. Remember this. ER is not added to stage manage. ER is added to manage, to get manager, and then manager and stage both are combined together to get a compound word, stage manage. Look at the next diagram. How do they get stage manage? They think they bring stage and manage together and take a stage, that becomes stage manage, and then they add er to it and they get stage manager. Now this is a wrong process. Stage manage, er cannot be added to stage manage. This is the process, but this is the process. They wrongly think that stage manage, er has been added to stage manage, and therefore they can remove it and get stage manage. This is again a process of back formation in compound words. Similarly, there are so many other compound words which are a result of back formation. Now from typewriter, they get typewrite, they remove er. Tape recorder, they get tape record, they remove er. But er has not been added to tape record. It has been added to a recorder first. Record, recorder, and then recorder is combined with tape to get tape recorder. But they think that er has been added to tape record. Not, and that is wrong. Er is not added to tape record. Er is added to recorder first, then recorder is combined with tape recorder. And then they remove er and they get tape recorder. Similarly, sleepwalking, from sleepwalking we get sleepwalk, and from sightseeing we get sightsee. So this process is called back formation. Any question up to this point? Jamshed? Jamshed, are you there? Jamshed, are you there? Jamshed? Jamshed, next slide. अरे कहाँ रहता है? तो आवाज नहीं जा रही मेरी? नहीं, हम तो फोन से कर रहे हैं ना, इससे आवाज नहीं आ रही है. हाँ, तो नेक्स्ट स्लाइड लगाना और लोगों से पूछो. कोई क्वेश्चन है? अभी कोई क्वेश्चन पूछ लें, हम जवाब दे देंगे. एनी क्वेश्चन?
हेलो हेलो. स्टूडेंट अगर कोई क्वेश्चन है तो आप
नेक्स्ट स्लाइड.
टीचर से डायरेक्टली पूछ सकते हैं. हेलो.
हाँ हाँ, जमशेद बोलो. हाँ, क्या क्वेश्चन है? यस,
चैट बॉक्स में देख लीजिए.
कोई क्वेश्चन है?
No, sir.
Is there any question? Okay.
No question, sir.
No. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So we'll proceed. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Is everything clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's proceed then.
Yes, sir, I
Next
understood.
slide. Next slide. Jamshed, next slide. Slide number 4. Yes. All right. It has come here. So we have covered back formation. Now let us be quick so that I can finish my all the slides today. Now let's come to reduplication. Reduplication is also a process of coining words. Reduplication, you understand, duplicate. Hmm? Duplicate. That is putting two words, the same words together. Hmm. Like, look at this slide, and I have quoted a few words from Hindi. Tej, tej, धीरे धीरे, चलते चलते, रोज रोज, right? Now, this is a very productive process in Hindi. Like, we can form any number of reduplication or reduplicated words in Hindi. It is a very, very productive process. You can give me 100 examples right now of reduplicated words, apart from तेज तेज, धीरे धीरे, चलते चलते, रोज रोज, uh, uh, दौड़ते दौड़ते, भागते भागते, हंसते हंसते, etc., etc. Right? But in English, this is not a productive process. There are a very few reduplicated words like goody goody, sing song, higgledy piggledy. Now, these words are called reduplicated. Now, what is the meaning of reduplicated word? It is very clear from the title itself. That is, you take one word and then in the next word, the part of the first word or the whole word is repeated. For example, goody. Now, goody has been repeated and you get goody goody. Sing, here some change has taken place. Sing song, right? Higgledy piggledy. That is, here not the whole word has been repeated, but higgledy has been repeated. Her has been replaced by pa. So, reduplication is a process of word formation in which in the second word a part of the first word or the whole of the first word is repeated in the second part. And this has various meanings. This conveys various meanings. Like if we say bhagte bhagte, what are we doing? We are emphasizing chalte chalte. We are emphasizing that he has come walking, not by a car or a rickshaw. Right? So वो चलते चलते आया. So we are emphasizing the process of chalna. Now this process is available in other languages also, like in Malay. Malay is a language spoken by a group of people in Malaysia and Indonesia, right? And there Raja means king, but when they repeat Raja Raja, this becomes plural. So Raja is singular and Raja Raja is plural. So in Malay they would say there was a Raja, and there were Raja Raja. So repetition, reduplication in Malay is a process of pluralizing the noun. Now, how do we classify reduplication? We first of all we should treat reduplicated words as compound words. Compound means there are two words. In goody goody you have two words. Sing song you have two words. Higgledy piggledy you have two words. So look at the classification. Number one, compounds imitating sounds. Tick tock, bow wow, bow wow, bow bow. This is you are imitating the sound of a dog. Tick tock. Here the sound of a clock has been imitated. Tick tock bell, something like that. So this is one way of forming a reduplicated word, that you imitate the sound of an object or a person or an animal. Then the second classification is compounds suggesting alternating movements, one after the other. Movement one after the other, as in seesaw. You know the seesaw, the children sit on the seesaw. When one goes down, another goes up. When the second person goes down, the first person goes up. So that is seesaw, and this is an alternating movement. That is, one goes down, the other goes up. The other goes down, the first person goes up. Ping pong. Ping pong is a kind of play, a game, which is almost like a table tennis. Flip flop, right? Flip flop. This again shows movement. You know, the meaning of flip flop is that you always change your opinion. So changing your opinion, that is, you are a flip flop person, or his ideas are flip flop, means he is not static in his ideas. He is not fixed in his ideas. He always keeps changing his ideas. Third is pejorative compounds suggesting instability, nonsense, insincerity, vacillation, etc. That is hanky-panky. Now look here, hanky-panky, dishonest behavior. Hanky-panky means dishonest behavior. Helter-skelter, that is, when you are always in a hurry, or when something is not in order, you say helter-skelter. The books are lying helter-skelter in the room. Wishy-washy. Wishy-washy means not having clear ideas. You know. So, such pejorative compounds or such reduplicated compounds convey nonsense, insincerity, vacillation, etc., etc. Then you have compounds which intensify. Now look at the Hindi compounds. Dheere dheere, chalte chalte, roz roz. You are intensifying. Intensifying means making something greater. If I say वह रोज पढ़ता, वह रोज खेलता है, this is okay. But if you are disapproving his play, then say वह रोज रोज खेलता ही रहता है, वह रोज रोज खेलता ही रहता है. So such compounds intensify, as in tip top. Tip top means excellent. Teeny weeny, it means very small. We say that his condition is tip top, or he is in a tip top condition. Means he is in an excellent condition. So this is one way of classifying reduplicated compounds. that is imitating sound. That is, you take the meaning of the reduplicated compounds and classify them. Another way of classifying, classification on different lines. Look at the examples: roly-poly, brain drain, hobnob, helter-skelter. How do you form? Look at roly-poly. How has it been formed? If you look at roly and poly, all the sounds are similar. Oli and oli. In both words, roly-poly, oli is the same. Only r in roly and p in poly is different. Right? So r is replaced by p. That is, you change the initial consonant. Look at brain, drain, ain, 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 and ain, ain in drain. Both are same. The only difference between brain, drain is in the initial position you get br in brain and dr in drain. That is, br has been replaced by dr. That is, the initial consonant in roly-poly has been replaced. The initial consonant cluster in brain drain has been replaced. The initial consonant h has been replaced by n in the second part in hobnob. In helter-skelter, look, helter, elter, elter, both are same. Ha has been replaced by sa and ka, skelter, helter-skelter. That is replacing the initial consonant or initial consonant cluster. That is one way of classifying reduplicated words. Another way is mishmash. Look at this. Mishmash, riffraff. Now here, the vowel that occurs between ma and sh has been replaced. In mish, you get e. In mash, you get a. E and a. That is the difference. The vowel has been changed. Riff, raff, right? As in tip top. Riff-raff, mishmash, tip-top. Riff-raff, etc., etc. And reduplicated words can be nouns, adjectives, verbs. Like nouns, thump thump. Thump thump is a noun. Hush hush is an adjective. There is a hush hush. Poo-poo. He poo-pooed my ideas. Right. So this is called reduplication, and this again is a process of coining. So we come to the end of reduplication. We switch over to next process, which is called blends. Jamshed,
हाँ सर आ गया सर स्क्रीन पे
Jamshed,
हेलो
Jamshed,
हेलो सर स्लाइड दिख रहा
hello
है
Jamshed. Next
हेलो
slide. Next
नेक्स्ट स्लाइड
slide.
कर दिया सर
Slide number 5.
सर आ चुके स्क्रीन पे एक बार देखिए
Slide number 5. मेरी आवाज क्यों नहीं पहुंचती है तुम्हारे तक? हाँ, अब आया है, अब आ गया ब्लेंड्स। अच्छा, अभी आया। आवाज पहुंच रही है ना मेरी? हाँ, अच्छा, ठीक ठीक। बहुत धीरे आती है, कल जिस तरह से आ रहा था ना, आज नहीं आ रहा है। अच्छा, ठीक, हम फोन से ही बोल देंगे, है ना? ठीक 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 ठीक। ओके। Now, participants, let's come to this slide, which is titled blends. Now, this again is a process of coining a new word. Now, what is the meaning of blend? All of you have a blender at home. And what do you do in the blender? You put so many things together and mix them. That is mixer, what you say, mixer or blender. And exactly the same thing happens in language also. Two words are put together to form another word. Like, look at the word slimming and life. Slimming means thick liquid and life means bending easily. Now, from slimy and life, we get slicey, right? Slicey, that is, and slicey contains the meaning of slimy and it also contains the meaning of life. That is, slimy, as I said, is a thick liquid like mud. Mud is slimy. And life is bending easily. That is, a thin stick can bend. So, from slimy and lice, we get slicey. That is thick, sticky, and also it can bend. That is slicey. Miserable and flimsy. From miserable and flimsy, you get mimsy. All right. So, what is blending? Blending means combining the meaning and sound of two words. Not three, but only two. So you take two words, combine the meaning and sound of two words, and you get a blend, which is also called portmanteau words. Portmanteau, you know, portmanteau is a kind of bag, a big bag in which you can keep so many things. So similarly, a blend or a portmanteau word is a word which has got the meaning of two words. There is one word, but it has got the meaning of two words. Right. So look at phonastemic blends. Now, what are phonastemic blends? First, look at a series of words that I have given you here: crick, crinkle, crisscross, cram. Crick, crinkle, crisscross, cram. The first thing that you observe in this series of words is that all the words start with the same consonant cluster, k and r. Look at the second series of words: bash, dash, crash, rush, gush. Now, what is common between the two, between all these words? Look here. In both the series, crick, crinkle, crisscross, cram, and the meaning is almost the same. Crick, crinkle, crisscross, cram, all of them mean not straight. जो सीधा नहीं हो, that is जो टेढ़ा हो. So crick, crinkle, crisscross, cramp. They have almost the same meaning. So that is one feature of this series of words. Another feature is that all the words crick, crinkle, crisscross, and cramp start with the sound or consonant cluster kara. Similarly, bash, dash, crash, rush, gush. All the words end with this sound sh, bash, dash, crash, rush, gush. Right. And all of them have the same meaning. That is movement, swift movement, bash, dash, crash, rush, gush. They all convey almost the same meaning, and the meaning is that of swift movement. And all these words end with the same sound sh. Now, crick, crinkle, crisscross, cramp, we can say these are phonostheme, or they are phonosthemic words, means that they have similar meaning. Bash, dash, crash, rush, gush, they are phonosthemic words because they have almost the same meaning. Not the same meaning, but almost the same meaning. Now, you can take a series of such words. You can take phonosthemic words on one hand, and then you can combine it with some phonosthemic words on the other. For example, I have given you here flare, flame, and flicker. Look at this. Flare, flame, and flicker. What happens? All of them have almost the same meaning, right? Flare, flame, and flicker. And flare, flame, and flicker all start with the consonant cluster f, l. So flare, flame, and flicker are phonesthemes or phonesthemic words. Now look at glimmer and shimmer. Glimmer and shimmer have the same meaning. That which shines. Flare, flame, and flicker, that is flame of a lamp, flare of fire, flicker of a candle, etc., etc. Right? So flare, flame, flicker, they have the same meaning, and all the three words start with the consonant cluster f. Similarly, glimmer and shimmer. Glimmer and shimmer means to shine. They have the same meaning, and they end with the same vowel and consonants. Ima, ima, right? E, ma, right? And when a series of phonesthemic words are combined with a series of another phonesthemic words, we get a blend. By combining flare, flame, flicker with glimmer and shimmer, we get flimmer. And what is flimmer? That which has flare and glimmer both. Flimmer contains the meaning of flare, flame, flicker on one hand and glimmer and shimmer on the other. That is, flimmer combines the meaning and takes one part from the first series and takes another part from the second series. That is called phonesthemic blends. Now let's come to compound blends. And this is a very common example, breakfast plus lunch. Right. Sorry. Breakfast and lunch. Now breakfast and lunch have been combined together to get a blend, and we get brunch. And what is brunch? Brunch is more than a lunch. More than a breakfast. A brunch is a brunch which is taken after breakfast and before lunch. That is somewhere near the lunch. The breakfast time is around 8:30, 9:30. The lunch time is, let us say, 1:32. And if you eat fully at 11 or 11:30, that becomes your brunch, which is neither a breakfast nor lunch, but it is more a lunch and less a breakfast. Helicopter and airport. Now, from helicopter they take heli, and from airport they take port, and they get heliport. And heliport is a port which is meant only for helicopter. Similarly, smoke and fog. Smoke and fog, they take SM from smoke and OG from fog, and they get smog. And smog is a combination. Smog is a combination of smoke and fog, or rather, it is more fog and less smoke. Television and broadcast. From television we take tele, and from broadcast we take cast, and we get telecast. Right. Now, television and broadcast. Now, broadcast is used only for radio broadcast, right? But television, it is not broadcast, it is telecast. So, telecast contains the meaning of broadcast and television. And what is television and telecast? That which is shown on the television is called telecast. So that is how we get a blend. That is mixing two words together to get a third word, and the third word is called a blend, which combines the meaning as well as some of the sounds of both words. That is blend. Okay. Now let's come to the next slide, Jamshed.
हाँ सर स्क्रीन पे आ गया है।
Jamshed, next slide. हाँ, अच्छा, हाँ, आने वाला है, मेरे स्क्रीन पर भी आया नहीं है।
आ गया सर?
नहीं, अभी नहीं आया, आ जाएगा। शो तो करने वाला है। तुम्हारा नाम आ रहा है जमशेद अंसारी। फिर से हम क्लिक करें क्या?
हम एक काम करते हैं, हम फिर से उसको शेयर करते हैं। 1 मिनट सर।
हाँ। अभी आने वाला है। यस यस।
देखिए सर आ गया।
हाँ, आ गया।
ठीक है सर।
दिस इज क्लिपिंग, है ना? ठीक। Now, participants, look at this. I've put it in the computer, the whole thing. Let's read it out, and you will understand. What is the meaning of clipping? You know, we clip the wings of a bird, right? If you remember, you have not read MEG 7. When you come to MEG 7, you will get a section on poetry, and you will get a poem by Vivian Dereggio, where this word has been, you will get this word, clipping. That is, we clip the wings of a word, right? Now, when we clip the wings of a word, what do? We cut it. We cut the wing. And when we cut a part of the word and get another word, we get a clipping. Cutting a word. You know, we have been looking at combining two words, right? And that is called blend. Now we take one word and we cut it to get a shorter word. Like, look at this. Memorandum. memorandum. From memorandum, random has been deleted, cut, clipped, and what we get is memo. Microphone, from microphone, we have cut rophone and we get mic. From photograph, we cut graph and we get photo. From advertisement, we clip advertisement and we get ad. From examination, we clip initial and we get exam. That is what has happened here. The initial part of the word has been retained, right? The later part of the word has been clipped, and this is called back clipping. I've typed it also for you. This is called back clipping. That is, the back of the word has been clipped. Then look at the second series of words: telephone, aeroplane, and omnibus. From telephone, you get phone. Now, what has happened in phone? Tele has been deleted or clipped. And this is called foreclipping. That is, we have clipped the initial part of the word, telephone. So, phone is a clipped form of telephone. Aeroplane, from aeroplane, we clip aero and we get plane. From omnibus, we clip omni and we get bus. That is the initial part of the word has been clipped. The final part has been retained. And this is called foreclipping. Now, in influenza or refrigerator, look here. Where do you find flu? You find flu in the middle of the word. Flu, F-L-U, you get it in the middle of the word. After in and before enza. So in has been clipped and enza has been clipped. And the middle part has been retained. In refrigerator, fridge, where do you get? Don't look at the spelling. Where do you get fridge? You get fridge after ray and before ater. Ray has been clipped and ater has been clipped, and the middle part has been retained. Now, this is called fore and aft pleating. That is, the initial part and the final part of a word is clipped, the middle part is retained, and this is one more process of clipping. Look at these words: spectacles, specs. Spectacle, from spectacles you get specs. What has happened here? Tackle has been deleted or clipped, S has been retained. Spec has been retained and you get specs. Similarly in mathematics, matic has been deleted, math and S has been, they have been retained and you get maths. So the final S is retained and the initial or middle part of the word is also retained and you get such words like specs and mathematics. Okay. So this is called clipping. Now, yet another form of coining is acronym. Next, slide number 7.
सर स्क्रीन पे देखिए आ गया होगा.
हाँ आ गया, ठीक आ गया. Acronym. Now participants look at these words, right? AIR, All India Radio. Now you may not be familiar with All India Radio, but when it was the time of radio only, All India Radio was the broadcasting station from Delhi. Now UNO means United Nations Organization. NGO means non-government organization. Now, how has UNO and NGO been formed? The initial letter of each word has been retained. U from United, nation, N from nations, and O from organization. And you get UNO. So is in the case of NGO and AIR. We don't call it AIR, but AIR, All India Radio. So abbreviations are pronounced as a series of letters, AIR, UNO, NGO, right? But look at NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. From North, N has been taken, from Atlantic, A has been taken, from Treaty, T has been taken, and from organization, O has been taken. And you get NATO. And what happens is that NATO can be pronounced as a word. Now compare NATO with NGO. Now NGO, you cannot pronounce it as a word. How will you pronounce it? Ingo or UNO? Can you pronounce it as UNO? No. So UNO, we cannot have UNO as a word or NGO as a word, but NATO can be pronounced as a word. Now both are abbreviations, but there is a difference. One kind of abbreviation can be pronounced as a word, and one kind of abbreviation has to be pronounced by each letter, right? Now abbreviations which can be pronounced as a word are called acronyms. Now acronyms are also abbreviations, but acronyms, though they are abbreviations, can be pronounced as a word. Abbreviations which are pronounced as a series of letters are called alphabetism or initialism, right? When abbreviation is pronounced as a series of letters. So UNO is an alphabetism or initialism, whereas NATO is an acronym. Now the change of status from abbreviation to a regular word is called acronymization, right? That is acronymization. Acronymization means that an abbreviation or an abbreviated word can be pronounced as a word. An abbreviation can be pronounced as a word. Slide number 8.
हाँ सर चेंज कर दिया
Slide number 8.
देखिए आ गया होगा सर
नहीं अभी नहीं आया, आ जाएगा, अभी आया नहीं है.
आ गया सर
नहीं आया. हाँ अब आ गया, आ गया. Now participants, look at this slide. An acronym has the following features. It is a series of letters pronounced as a single phonological word with a stress pattern of its own. Now you know stress. So it is pronounced as a single word and it has its own stress. So radar, right? Radar. This is an abbreviation. R-A-D-A-R. All these letters, each letter stands for one word. Hmm. So find out the full form of radar and laser. Each word in each letter in laser stands for a full word. All the initial letters of all the words have been taken together to get LASER, and this abbreviation can be read as a word, laser, right? So that is one feature of acronym, that it can be read, it can be pronounced as a phonological word with a stress pattern of its own. Now the second feature is it is written in small letters. Remember, it is written in small letters, not capitals, right? And the dots between the letters are removed. When you write an abbreviation, you put dot after each letter. Now, I'm sorry, when I typed, I missed E, U-N-E. It should be E, UNESCO, and it is UNESCO. N-A, A is missing, N-A-T-O, it should be NATO. And R dot A dot D dot A dot R. Now this has first been written as an abbreviation. An abbreviation is written with dots after each letter. But this abbreviation can be read as a word, and therefore the dots are removed and we get radar. The first letter you can write as the capital letter depending on where it occurs in a sentence, but the other letters are written in a small case. Right. Next, slide number 9.
देखिए सर आगे होगा।
Slide number 9.
चेंज कर दिए।
हाँ आ गया. Now participants, look at the title of this slide: Morphological Negation and Syntactic Negation. Let me explain syntactic negation. Syntactic here means sentence, the structure of sentence, and we will come to the structure of sentence when we take up block 5. We are still doing block 4, that is morphology. So morphological negation. And what is morphological negation? A morphological negation gives you the negative meaning, and the form is that of a prefix. A prefix, a negative prefix. It has the meaning of not. For example, look at these words. A. A means not. Like you have moral, and then you add A before it and you get amoral. And amoral means not moral. Ascientific. Ascientific means that which is not scientific. Now, in these corona days, you must have heard of the word asymptomatic. Asymptomatic. Now, what is an asymptomatic patient? An asymptomatic patient is a patient who is infected with corona, but he does not show any symptom. He has no cough and no cold and no breathing problem. So he is asymptomatic. Similarly, look at dis. Obey and disobey. That is, you are negating it. Order, disorder. Then look at L. That which is not legal is illegal. That which is not legitimate is illegitimate. That which is not logical is illogical. And you can read all these stances or these examples, right? And you will understand. What I mean to say is that Morphological negation refers to the process of adding a negative prefix. Remember, this is a process of adding a negative prefix to a word. I've written it stem. Yeah, stem. You read word here, and when you add that prefix, then you get a negative meaning. Right. Slide number 10.
देखिए सर
Slide
आ गया,
number 10.
चेंज कर दिए
नहीं
हैं सर,
आया.
आ जाएगा।
अच्छा ठीक है, आ जाएगा. शायद थोड़ा सा टाइम लगता है. हाँ,
आ गया सर।
एक बार. हाँ, आ गया. Yes, yes, आ गया. Now, syntactic negation, participants. Look at these sentences. The attempt has succeeded. Attempt has not succeeded. Right. Now, if you compare the earlier one, amoral, a was a prefix, a negative prefix, but not is not a prefix. It is a word that occurs independently in a sentence. The attempt has succeeded. Now, if you want to negate this statement, then we say the attempt has not succeeded. For empty, nothing, nobody, nowhere, never, neither, nor. Like nothing will come out of nothing.
हेलो सर,
हेलो
आपकी
सर।
आवाज नहीं आ रही है। हेलो लगता है नेटवर्क इशू है, एक मिनट।
ये ऑफलाइन कैसे होगा? अनम्यूट कर दिए ना, हो गया? आ रहा मेरी आवाज आ रही है अब? हाँ
यस सर, वी कैन हियर यू।
ठीक है ना, कंटिन्यू करें, बस 2 मिनट में खत्म करते हैं, हाँ ना? ओके. So participants, sorry for this interruption. What they say in दूरदर्शन, हाँ, रुकावट के लिए खेल है. Okay, the attempt has succeeded, the attempt has not succeeded. So in syntactic negation, we do not use a an independent word like no, not, or the contracted form, and you all know this. Nothing, nobody, nowhere, neither, nor, never, never shall you go there. We can say, never shall you go there. Means you will not go there, or neither he nor she appeared for the exam, and so on and so forth. And then there is another form, like when you do not have an auxiliary, suppose auxiliary verbs, you understand. Like here, the attempt has succeeded. Now succeed is the main verb, has is the auxiliary verb, and the negative particle or the negative word or the negative element comes after the auxiliary word. Look at this word. They have, in this sentence, they have been defeated. Now that word will always come after defeated. Slide number 11.
हाँ सर चेंज कर दिया है.
Slide number, no, slide number 11. हाँ आ रहा है,
आ गया.
आएगा.
आ गया सर. एक मिनट हम फिर से शेयर करते हैं.
11 नंबर.
जी हम शेयर कर रहे हैं.
नहीं आया है अभी, आएगा, थोड़ा देर लगता है.
देखिए सर आ गया.
अब आ रहा है.
मेरे स्क्रीन पे शो कर रहा है सर, और शायद इस
नहीं आ रहा है. बस वो लास्ट स्लाइड है, किसी तरह से मैनेज करो. क्या बात है, कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम है कहीं पर.
हमको लग रहा है नेटवर्क इशू होगा सर, क्योंकि हमको स्क्रीन पे भी दिख रहा
आ
है
गया,
और
आ गया,
मेरे
आ गया, आ गया, आ गया.
ठीक है सर.
Now, yeah, it is showing now. आ रहा है जमशेद. हाँ. Now, I said there are two auxiliaries in a sentence. Then the negative particle will come after the first auxiliary. But suppose there is no auxiliary in the sentence. She sees me every week. Then what do? We don't say she not sees me every week. We add a dummy do. She does. And then we add not. Like they understood the problem. Now there is no auxiliary here. So we add did. So they did not understand. And then understood changes to understand. That is the bare infinitive. Right? Because the tense is carried by did. And look at this, she is a teacher. The same thing happens. Sentences with lexical be. What is a lexical be? Lexical be means the verb is or was when it does not function as an auxiliary but as a main verb. Like she is a teacher. Now is not an auxiliary, it is a main verb. And so not is added or not comes after is. She is not a teacher or she isn't a teacher. Similarly, have, when it is not used as an auxiliary but as a main verb, then we add do. Like he has enough money to buy diamond, and we say he doesn't have enough money to buy diamond. So I hope you have understood the difference between morphological negation and syntactic negation. It's very simple. In morphological prefix, negative prefix, whereas in syntactic negation, we add a word, a free morpheme, a word which carries the meaning of negation. That's all. So I hope you have understood what I said, and we come to an end of the session today. Any question that I can quickly answer? I'll take 2 or 3 questions quickly. जमशेद किसी का क्वेश्चन हो अगर तो पूछ लो.
स्टूडेंट अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर लीजिए और जो भी क्वेश्चन है सब पूछिए.
लेक्सिकल मीन्स मेन वर्ब. या एक क्वेश्चन आया था लेक्सिकल मीन्स, हाँ, whoever asked this question, lexical, you read it as main verb, right? Sentences with lexical be, that is main, be as a main verb. Yeah, I have already told you the meaning of lexical. Lexical mean sentences with lexical be. So sentences with be, the form of be is and was and were. Am, is, was, were. These are the 4 forms of the verb be. And when the verb be is used as a main verb, we call it lexical be. All right, that is the meaning of lexical. Similarly, lexical have is mostly used as an auxiliary, but when it is used as a main verb, we call it lexical have. Yes. Can you type it out, your question, on the chat box? Slide 10. Yeah. ये जमशेद.
हाँ सर.
जमशेद.
हाँ बोलिए.
स्लाइड 10 दिखा दो तो एक बार फिर से.
हाँ सर, हम इन लोग को सारा
स्लाइड 10
स्लाइड
एक बार दिखा दो फिर से.
सारा हम शुरू से दिखला देंगे. कोई क्वेश्चन है तो वो आपसे पूछ लो बस.
नहीं, स्लाइड नंबर 10.
हम सारा स्लाइड दिला देंगे सर लास्ट में, बस लो क्वेश्चन आंसर खत्म हो जाए.
Sir, I have a question on slide
स्लाइड
10,
10
sir.
दिखा दो एक
Please
बार.
review it once again.
हाँ जी, यस, आई एम आस्किंग. स्लाइड 10 जमशेद, स्लाइड 10 एक बार ला.
ला रहे हैं सर.
हाँ, आ तो गया या नहीं आया अभी. स्लाइड नंबर 10
आ गया सर.
आ गया.
Yes, sir.
जमशेद आ
Please
गया.
review it, sir, once again briefly, sir.
हेलो. यस, कैन यू हियर मी?
यस सर.
Yes, sir.
I've talked about हाँ आ गया. In slide number 10 I have talked about syntactic negation. That is, look here, if you compare morphological negation, then it happens with a word, a single word. Disobey. But syntactic negation occurs in a sentence. All right. And for negating a sentence, For negating a sentence, we add not, nothing, nobody, neither, nor, never in the sentence. So in morphological negation, remember, in morphological negation, we add a prefix to a word. In syntactic negation, we add a negative element in a sentence. That is the difference.
Good morning, sir. Hello.
Is that all right?
Hello.
Yeah.
It means, sir,
Yes, sir. It's all
the
right, sir.
Yes,
synthetic negation is
I'm
always
here.
so. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm hearing right now. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello.
Hmm. Slide number 11. Someone is asking. Jamshed, slide number 11 दिखा दो. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, I
Hello.
can hear you.
Yes, yes, sir. I'm hearing right now. Sir, my
Yes.
question is that the synthetic
Huh.
negation, I
Hello.
think it always shows the negative things, it, or it is something like that.
What did you say? I didn't understand your question.
Actually, basically, I want to know that the synthetic
Repeat it.
negation, is it synthetic negation always shows the negativity? Is it right or not, sir?
No, I can't hear you. Someone is asking about.
Hello?
No, sorry.
Hello?
ये कर दो.
You
Block
can type
number,
on chat
not
box
block.
so sir can
Slide number
see.
11. Yeah. Someone was asking about slide number 11. Now look here. हाँ आ गया जमशेद. In slide number 11, what you find is that there is no auxiliary verb with the main verb. For example, she sees me every week. They understood the problem. Now, in they understood the problem, there is no auxiliary verb, right? So when there is no auxiliary verb, then where do you place the negative element? And the process is that you place a dummy verb, do, that functions as an auxiliary, and then you add not or whatever it may, a negative element after do. And so they understood the problem, they did not understand the problem. She sees me every week, she doesn't see me every week, right? And I've
Yes,
already
sir.
explained what is lexical be and lexical have. Lexical be, the form of be
Mm.
is am, is, are, and where. All right. And the form of have is have and has and had. Now, all these forms can function as auxiliary.
I think again connection was lost with sir.
Yes, exactly.
So please show the slides.
Yes, sorry, I went offline. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's okay,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. We can
Yes,
hear
sir.
you.
Yeah, sorry. And we cannot rely on technology. Okay, so I hope I have explained.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Uh, the this one also, the slide number 11. So is that okay? Okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we
Yes, sir.
come
It's
to an
okay.
end of this lecture. Okay, so we come to an end of this lecture. I hope you have enjoyed it. I don't know, but I enjoyed talking to you people. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It was very
Thank you,
nice.
sir.
Tomorrow
Thank you
we
very
meet.
much,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Very good session.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
हेलो
Yeah, हो गया ना? चलो अब.
हाँ थैंक यू सर थैंक यू वेरी मच सर कल मिलते हैं
थैंक
इंशाल्लाह
यू. हाँ, कल फिर मुलाकात होगी. कितने लोग थे जमशेद?
सर मैक्सिमम 54 गया था
अच्छा, ठीक ठीक ठीक. फिर बीच में कुछ छोड़ भी देते होंगे लोग ना.